Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Jason Ellis whilst I do a digital art of just a random creepy drawing as usual. Hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe down below for more. Jason Ellis was just 20 years old when he suddenly went missing. He was last seen in Indianapolis on December 4, 2006 at his apartment. He had been living there with a couple of friends from high school. It was strange for Jason not to contact his mother, as they were very close. Even more strange, he wasn't answering any of her calls. She knew something was wrong. Jason and his mother Beatrice had spoken December 3rd, 2006, the day before he went missing. He seemed to be his usual cheerful self, and his mother didn't notice anything off about him. But she had no idea that would be the last day she would speak to her son. Jason would have been at the apartment on his own, as his roommates were away at the time, and when they got back, Jason was nowhere to be found. At first they assumed he went to visit his mother, but after she called looking for him, they became concerned, realizing nobody had seen Jason for days. On December 11, 2006, Jason's mother drove to his home, 3 hours away, to see if she could find him. She noticed his car was parked right outside, with all his clothes still inside, and knew there was no way he would have gone anywhere without his car. In fact, just a couple days before, she had sent him money to do a repair on his car. So why would he bother fixing his car, with plans to disappear? This only worried her more. What she discovered when she walked into her son's room would shock her further. All of Jason's belongings were left behind. The only thing missing was the comforter/sheet from his bed. It couldn't be a robbery if nothing was touched, and why would Jason leave on foot with just his bedsheet? Beatrice knew something was wrong. It made no sense, so she called the police and reported Jason missing. But Jason was an adult. Investigators told her that he was free to go missing if he wanted to. They took a brief look at his room and found no signs of foul play. The room was tidy, there was no blood or signs of a struggle anywhere. It was almost as if he just vanished with his sheet. Investigators ignored the missing sheet because, of course, maybe he didn't have one, or it was thrown out or something. They didn't care. They said Jason will probably be back soon, and if he's not, it's his choice. His family knew he wouldn't have gone anywhere without letting his mother know where he was going to be. They called the day before, so surely he would have said something. He hadn't said anything to his work colleagues or his roommates, he just disappeared. His last 2 paychecks had been left completely untouched. His mother knew she would have to do what she can to find him, and do it herself. She couldn't ask the police for any help. They believed he up and left without a word. She launched her own search, looking high and low for Jason, wanting to find him desperately. The feeling of running out of time but not knowing if you have any. Her heart sinking yet full of hope, Jason would be found alive. Beatrice pinned missing posters up everywhere and begged newspapers to write an article about his disappearance, but to no avail. 2 years later, in 2008, police detective Charles Gold was given the case. He believed instantly that Jason was murdered. He promised Beatrice he would do everything he could to find Jason. But it had been 2 years. Previous investigators didn't even attempt to look into the case, making it 10 times harder to find out what could have happened. Gold interviewed Jason's family and friends, but didn't find anything. He tried speaking to people he could have associated with, but they didn't want to talk. Many refused to even answer their doors, and the ones who did told him he could only speak to their attorney. Either they were involved in Jason's disappearance or just didn't like police. But you'd think they would try it if they cared about him, right? Beatrice just wanted answers. She didn't care if whoever did it was even held accountable. She just wanted to know what happened or where her son was. She believed he had been murdered, and in 2010 she told a reporter she had a message she'd like the killer to hear. She said, quote, "If you can live with what you've done, Almighty God can take care of the rest of it. It's not about vengeance. I simply want to know what happened to my child." Detective Gold didn't find anything, and told Beatrice the only way the case would likely be solved was if the killer came forward or Jason's body was found. Beatrice died in 2013, suffering a brain hemorrhage. Gold told the reporter, quote, "She was an awesome lady." He was heartbroken he hadn't been able to find Jason for her before she died, but hoped she was finally at peace. He said, quote, "They're together now. Maybe. Hopefully. I would like to think in my mind that they are." Jason Ellis was just 20 years old at the time of his disappearance in 2006. Jason has brown eyes and black hair, and at the time was 6'1", weighing 160 pounds. His front tooth is chipped and both of his ears are pierced. He had Beatrice tattooed on his chest, a maple leaf and his name on his right arm, and Scrappy-Doo and Scooby-Doo on his left arm. If you have any information, please contact Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department at this number.